We're good to go, yeah?
We are live.
Let's do it. Hello and welcome to the Pro Tipster Football Show. I hope everyone is very, very well today. And first of all, happy birthday to Leicester City Football Club. What I love most about Leicester winning the league was my Italian friend Fabrizio trying to pronounce Leicester. Also, very happy birthday to Mark Hughes. He celebrated by not getting fired. Although by the time I finished this sentence, he could well be on the way to collecting his P45. I'm joined tonight by Pro Tipster Martin and Pro Tipster Dan. And we're going to take a look at the Champions League. But first, gentlemen, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going all right. A little bit tired today. Dan's a little bit tired for another reason. But...
yeah, I've had better days. Betting last night didn't really go to plan either, which didn't help.
There's quite a lot of surprises last night.
Weren't there?
Yeah, Barcelona not scoring has got to be the biggest of them all, I think.
Yeah, and Atletico Madrid not winning as well. That was unexpected.
Yeah.
Chelsea's defending
Sporting as well.
Yeah, Chelsea, what were they doing when all three of them run towards the player and the ball and then left the other guy wide open?
It was a strange all night. Like a lot of matches, they didn't look all that appealing, you know. And then the results were bizarre. And Juventus let us down as well. Sporting was 1-1. It's a strange one. How did your championship picks go?
I had Sunderland not to beat Bolton, and they didn't. Finished 3-3. Sunderland now 19 without a win in the league at home, which is a league record they share with another team, which would be Birmingham City. Because I know I went to most of those games. It was horrible. Grayson got the Spanish Archer. So yeah, that one went quite well. Thank you.
Yeah, I was on Sheffield Wednesday as well last night. I know we talked about them potentially being a little bit short, but I knew they weren't short for a reason, and they come up trumps.
Yeah, my Sheffield United bet lost though. Yes.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I was surprised by that one. I don't know. I didn't see any of the actions. I don't know whether QPR played really well or it was just a case of Sheffield United not really turning up.
Well, to go back to Atletico, where does that leave Atletico now? Are they in big trouble?
Well, they're not going to qualify, are they?
No.
In the group.
No.
No, it's a shocking result against Carabao. It really is terrible. With 2 games to go,
They need a miracle. They're not going to get it.
they're potentially battling Carabao for a place in the Europa League.
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen.
But
I suppose
maybe with them, they'll get into the Europa League and probably end up winning it.
yeah, it could happen, alright. Yeah. Maybe put a few bob on it now if you can. Right, so look, let's get on to tonight's matches then. Let's start with the big one, Napoli, Manchester City. Who wants this first? Martin, maybe?
Yeah, it's an intriguing game. Obviously, with the game that they played a few weeks ago, open flowing football, both teams attacking, and Guardiola he come out and said that probably one of the best sides he's ever played, and rightly so. Man City looked like they were going to run away with it, scoring a couple of early goals, but Napoli were well in that game right until the final minute. And for me, this one's interesting. I personally think that Napoli could edge it. It's one of those games where, as a neutral, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy watching it. I expect plenty of goals. Probably over 2.5 would be the one bet to go for. But it's going to be a hostile atmosphere, and I don't know if Man City are going to be up for that, because how much experience have they got going to an away tie in European competition in that kind of atmosphere? I'm not sure. Not sure whether they've experienced that too many times over recent years. So, it's going to be a tough place to go. Now, I read as well that in the news, apparently you're not allowed to wear a belt to the game, which is a bit of a strange one. I think there's going to be a lot of potential trouble being broken up this evening. And, yeah, it's a tough one to call. There's going to be goals, but I think for me, the hostile atmosphere, and, the fact Napoli have got such a good home record. They've only lost 5 home games in all competitions since May 2015. And I know City are good, but, Napoli are cracking at home, and it's going to be a very, very tough place to go, which is why I think Napoli could edge it.
Very good. And look, what you said about the goals there, over 2.5. It's only at around 1.6 now. So would you go with over 3.5, or would you look somewhere that offers over 3 maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I'll potentially over 3.5 could be a goer, to be fair. But I've gone for Napoli to edge it at 2.62. I just think it's a little bit of value because, you know, Napoli at home, as I said, are unbelievable. And whenever I see a great team with a formidable home record over evens against anyone, for me it's value. So I've got to back that.
Fair enough. Daniel, what do you think?
I've gone for Man City draw no bet. I agree. I've got a fantastic home record, but you look at their European home record, and it's not straight. They lost to Benfica home last year, drew with Kiev, lost to Real Madrid, a few years back lost to Athletic Bilbao. So the European record was quite.
Daniel, we can't hear you at all, man. You're coming and going.
No. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to leave you guys to it. I'm going to come back.
Okay. All right. Anything else then that you want to say about this match, Martin?
Well, it's one of those. It's for me. It's going to be a great game to watch. You know, Mertens has got 10 league goals this season for Napoli and a couple of Champions League goals. So Man City need to do everything they can to keep him quiet. It'd be interesting to see what lineup they put out. They've got such strength in depth. You know, they can put out two starting 11s and now different starting 11s and they'll trouble Napoli. You know, they're missing obviously Mendy and company still, both are injured. Probably going to play Fabian Delph in the middle of the park, who I've just never rated. So if there's one weak link in that Man City side, for me it's Fabian Delph. And yeah, it's going to be goals, but it'd be interesting to see how it ends up. What do you think, Paddy? How do you think it's going to go?
To be honest, yeah, I'd go with you on the Napoli thing. To be honest, as well, I think it's the strongest test City will have had away from home. You know, like they've dealt fairly well with pressure in the Premier League, but away from home in the Champions League is very different. Napoli, but my only thing about Napoli is that, you know, maybe because they're doing so well in Serie A, maybe they'd be tempted to take their foot off the gas and just concentrate on Serie A. But saying that as well, if they get to qualify early, then like what Daniel was saying yesterday about Manchester United, then they can take their foot off the gas in the Champions League because you know, first place will be secured, and then they can really concentrate on Serie A. So, but I don't know if Napoli really have the squad to fight on two fronts under so much pressure, you know.
It's tough, and just looking at the group as well, they actually Shakhtar 3 points ahead of them in second place, so they have to win tonight realistically because Shakhtar got finalled, and I think everyone expects Shakhtar to win that one, so they'll put them on 9 points. And if they lose tonight or draw tonight, they're potentially stay on 3 points or 4 points. So, you know, they have to win, otherwise they're pretty much out.
Yeah, you're right. I had noticed. I had seen Shakhtar yesterday. All right, I'd forgotten about it. It's crazy that they no one expected Shakhtar to do this at all. I mean, they probably expected to do this all right, but nobody else. They've really taken City and Napoli by surprise, which is great.
Yeah. I mean, I know City found it hard at home to Shakhtar a few weeks ago, but they obviously ground out the win. But Shakhtar beat Napoli in Ukraine, which has probably got them where they are at the minute, and they'll do the double over final. They done them away in Holland, and are fully expecting to win again tonight. So, yeah, Shakhtar have surprised everyone in that group, I think.
They're look, we may as well. Do you want to get onto that match, or do you want to go with the English ones first? We've got maybe.
Cover the English ones if you want. Dan's
okay. Yeah.
Oh, Dan's back.
What time? Was Dan back?
Dan is back, and you can see his face. Yeah, sorry about that. We turn the old camera off. There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better. Loud and clear. Yeah. So Daniel, do you want to say anything then on Napoli Manchester City?
Yeah, I was just gonna. The only thing I was gonna say was I've gone completely the other way to Martin. I've gone for Man City draw no bet. The reason for that is that Napoli's home record isn't as amazing in Europe as it is like in Serie A. And you look at the Man City side; they're all conquering. I think it's 14 in a row they've won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I read a stat today that when Jesus plays for them, they win. He's not played in the Man City team that has not won. So, yeah, I've gone for Man City draw no bet at 1.82.
Interesting.
Good stuff. Okay. So one of you is going to earn money on this one at least. Anyway. Right, look, let's move on to London then. And Tottenham are hosting Real Madrid. Danny, we'll start with you. How do you see things panning out at Wembley?
To be honest with you, this one was one that I wasn't too sure about, and I wouldn't really be putting money on it. Normally, I would probably go with Real because Real Madrid are one of the best teams in Europe. They lost to Girona.
Yeah.
In the league, really surprisingly on Sunday. And I don't know, I'm just curious, are they leading the touch? But you look at their Champions League record, you take out the last year's final, they haven't lost a Champions League game other than that for, a year and a half? To Wolfsburg. They're a really good team. And I don't know, but I'm just wondering if this is time to back Spurs. Because, they lost to Man U at the weekend, but they've got Harry Kane back. They're obviously more pumped for this one. Spurs are 3.15 to win at home, and I've just had a little tickle on it. It's not something I'm uber confident about, but as an outside bet, it was worth it. It was worth it a little bit.
Okay, very good. Martin.
Well, I'm kind of with Dan on this one. I wasn't sure. I'll probably leave it alone, to be honest. But being an English team, I thought I'd have a look, and I've gone straight down the middle. I've gone for the draw, simply because exactly what Dan said. Real Madrid are Real Madrid. They lost to Girona. Yeah, that was a bit of a shock result, and they're probably not doing as well as they should be domestically. But their European record is exemplary. They haven't lost a Champions League group game in the last 30 games. And they've only failed to score in one of their last 53 group games. So they're going to get on a score sheet tonight. And, I expect Spurs to do the same. It's probably one of the biggest games like Spurs have had for a very, very long time. And Harry Kane, yes, he's back fit. Will he start? I don't know. That's the debate. He's back, but he's coming back from a hamstring injury, and it's one of those. A hamstring injury is not one of those things that you want to test and risk too much because it can pop and go again. So yes, he's back fully fit. I don't know. Will he start? Probably will. I can't see him being risked for the full 90 minutes. But yeah, Spurs are struggling. They lost to United, obviously without Harry Kane. They lost to us. They got battered by us 3-2. Actually, they were winning that comfortably until we turned it round. But, they're just not finding their feet at Wembley, no matter who they play at the moment. Although they did do very, very well against Dortmund. And they probably will have Moussa Dembele in the middle of the park tonight. And I rate him highly. I think he's one of the most underrated players in English football at the moment. And, Bale have got no... Real Madrid have got no Bale. No Varane, no Keylor Navas tonight. So, they're struggling on the injury front too. So, I've gone down the middle. Draw at 3.8 on Pro Tipster. So, I think that's a bit of value there.
The thing as well is they're both sitting on 7 points. So, and Dortmund and Apoel are nowhere close to them. So, no one really has to go for anything here, do they?
Yeah, exactly. There's no real pressure on either team. It'll be a fight for who wants to win the group, really, which could be crucial come the knockout stages. You probably want to win your group, really.
Yeah, true. Good point. Actually, I am getting some echo now. Okay, well, the gods of the internet are against us tonight. Then let's go on to Liverpool. Then are Maribor going to get another hiding?
I've given this one a complete swerve. I've wrongly got the result badly wrong in Maribor, Liverpool, and I don't know. You look at this group. Liverpool need to go for it. Need to win it because they've got Spartak Moscow. They're only ahead on, I think, it's goal scored or goal difference. And Sevilla's a point behind them, so they need to beat Maribor again tonight. And I just didn't think there was any value in the game. So it's one of those where I don't like banker bets, and I was just a bit cautious in the Asian handicap because I got burned last time.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just looking at where the line is now. Because the Asian handicap line is a good way to kind of judge where the bookies see the result going. And for those people who don't know, what you're looking for is where the bets. I need the cider about even to be about 1.9. Takes into account 10% commission from the bookie. At the moment, the line's at 3.25. So that means the bookies think that Liverpool are probably going to win by about 4 goals.
Yeah.
And I just can't see it. I can't see any value in that because I'm not sure if they will or not. But I don't trust Maribor to back them either. So I've just decided not to bet on this one.
Yeah, no, I'm in complete agreement with you, Dan. I've given it a swerve as well. I just can't make a case for Maribor at all. Looking at the prices, 14s for the draw and 30s plus to get a win at Anfield. Liverpool are so short. There's just no value in it for me. And just trying to have a look at the handicap lines, etc. I mean, I did have a look at goals as well. Maybe over 1.5 first half goals at 1.57 might be worth dipping into, especially if they start well in the first 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, leaving it well alone. Liverpool will win. It's just a case of how many. But yeah, no value for me.
The total goals line as well is at 4.5, which is just massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't one to make money on, I don't think. So, yeah, leave it.
Right, very good. Let's talk then about Seville and Spartak Moscow. This was one of your tips of the day, Daniel.
Yeah, it was. I was really gutted about Juve losing. I thought Juve drawing. I thought they'd do better against Spartak. Sevilla and Spartak both goals in the Champions League. In 6 Champions League games this year, Sevilla involved in 20 goals. So it's 20 goals in their 6 games.
Wow.
Spartak is 10-3. So both teams to score 1.85. It's a good bet. Both teams need to go for it as well because of the state of the group. So
yeah, agreed. I mean, I've gone slightly different. I've gone Spartak plus 1.25 on the Asian handicap. So Spartak not to lose by 2 or more at 2.13, which I think is pretty good value because yeah, Sevilla are pretty formidable at home. They're unbeaten this season at home. I think they might edge the game, but they got battered by Spartak 5-1 last time out, and after that they got trounced by Valencia, and they only scraped past Leganes at home at the weekend. So I can see Sevilla scraping it, but I don't see Spartak getting trounced at all. To be honest, they've got a lot to play for. Like I say, joint top of the group with Liverpool. They don't want to give that away lightly, and they'll be doing all they can. Unbeaten in the last 13 in all competitions. So yeah, a little bit of value for me at 2.13 plus 1.25.
Okay, good. I see Besiktas have equalised, so your bet could come in, lads. You both backed them to win, didn't you?
yeah. Besiktas have been great in the Champions League. They've won 3 out of 3. Against this game, Monaco's record is pretty poor. So
yeah, now they've scored. That crowd, unbelievable.
Yeah, Cenk Tosun, their striker, is it him who scored?
Yeah, he scored a penalty, I think.
Yeah, he's. I think I read Palace wanted him for 20 million quid.
Wow.
Great player, really great player.
Yeah, that's what's scored, exactly. Well, what else is left then? Porto and Red Bull Leipzig. Anything in this?
Yeah, I've gone for this one. It's an interesting game. Leipzig are in their debut Champions League season, obviously, being a bit of a franchise club. So Porto haven't lost at home in the league since 2016. But they've lost the last 2 at home in the Champions League. There is that. Leipzig, Three wins, three defeats in Bundesliga away from home, and their current Champions League record is 4 points, one draw, one win, one defeat.
Yeah,
it's one of those games where I think it's going to be open. You look at the group situation, and Leipzig is second, Porto are third. Both teams need to go for it for a second spot. So I think Porto are going to edge it. I don't trust Leipzig away from home. Porto at home, 2.13. Looks a decent bet to me, so that's why I've gone for it.
nice. I personally didn't touch this, but I expect there to be goals. I don't know. I don't actually know what the line is, but over 2.5 might be the one to go for personally, considering obviously there was loads of goals in the game before. But Leipzig are in a bit of, they're doing okay, but yeah, they got embarrassed by Munich a couple of times in the last 4 or 5 days, so they'll want to bounce back. But like Dan said, Porto are pretty good at home, so Porto will probably edge it 2-1, maybe.
The goals line over 2.5 is 1.67 at the moment, pro tipsters. So a little bit short, but
yeah,
it's still okay.
Yeah, that's probably where I'd go. But yeah, I've left it alone personally.
And Dortmund Apoel. Dortmund didn't do well against Apoel in the reverse fixture. Do you think they'll get at them today?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, Dortmund will win quite comfortably, but neither have got much to play for. But I think Dortmund will comfortably get a Europa League place. And yeah, it's just one of those nothing games. There's no value in it for me, so I've not personally gone for anything. But yeah, I expect Dortmund to right the wrongs from the last game, from the 1-1 draw that they got in Cyprus, and win this quite comfortably.
Yeah, I gave that one a swerve too. I couldn't see any value in it. I mean, Dortmund burned me as well, because I had them to thrash up a well in Cyprus, and they didn't, which was very nice of them to do that. The line is what, 2.5, 2.75.
Yeah.
I can't see Dortmund. Dortmund winning by 3. Yeah, I can see it. It's not. There's not enough value there to go for it. And likewise, goals. Sitting at the line there, and I think it's 3.5. Yeah, it's 3.5. So I just can't see it. And it's one of those where you see we look at it and it's like, it's not worth it. And when it's not worth it, it's not worth it. Don't put anything on.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Fair enough. What didn't we speak about? Shakhtar and Feyenoord.
Yeah, I think I'll go for this one as well. It's an interesting looking game, Shakhtar. Yeah, because Shakhtar at the moment, and I haven't played in Kiev.
Yeah, Kiev, yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
The problems in Ukraine, but it's not affected them. The home record's really good. You look at their home record. Ironically, the only team they've lost to at home of late has been Dynamo Kiev. But in the Champions League, they beat Napoli in Donetsk.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Okay, so they got beat by Man City, but the big final was in Holland as well. So I looked at this one, and I think it's one for an Asian handicap type thing. But I think Shakhtar should do fairly well. To win by a margin of 2 or more, so that's 1.5. I've got Shakhtar at 2.15. I think they will. A final, they're not as good as they're not in the same sort of standard quality wise, and their form's really poor as well. They've won only once in the last 5 games, so I'm going for it.
Yeah, nice one. I haven't gone for anything, but I agree with everything you said there. I think it's a little bit of value getting on Shakhtar on the handicap. They're flying domestically. They're like miles clear in the league. I think 8 points clear already or something silly. Like you say, don't lose many at home. And Feyenoord just struggling this season, really. Both in Europe and domestically. Won 3-11 in all competitions. That's not great. And I think they only drew against Roda JC at the weekend, and they're bottom of the league. And they just looked a bit lackluster at the weekend, like they're devoid of confidence. I don't know what's happened to Feyenoord recently, but can't see them getting anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, when you're sixth in the Dutch, the Eredivisie is not a really strong league.
No.
You expect them to be top three with PSV and Ajax, and they're sixth.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty harsh.
Right then, sure. That wraps up our Champions League predictions then. So we better turn to the Championship and to your beloved Birmingham, Daniel. Are they going to beat Brentford tonight?
Okay. So before we talk about this, it's got to understand that as a Birmingham fan, it's kind of like heart versus head sort of thing. So, you know, I back Birmingham City to win, but I have actually got a reason behind it. Our head-to-head record against Brentford is really good. I think Brentford have only beaten us once at St Andrews in the last few years.
Wasn't that in the last game?
Yeah, it was the last one with a bit of 3-1. Yeah, I've seen us win a few. I've seen us beaten a few times. They've not actually beaten us before then. Since 1937.
Wow.
So yeah, it's it's one of those where we've got a really good record. We played the mob who will not be named at the weekend, and it was a tough game, but we got a good 0-0 draw. The only real downside we'll see for us is that Isaac Vistal, who's been playing up front, he's out with an ACL injury, which robs us of a lot of pace up front. I think Sam Gallagher will start, who's mobile, but he's nowhere near as quick.
Yeah.
You've got players like Potter, like Maxine Collan, like Harley Dean, who we signed from Brentford.
Yeah.
They've all got some proof, and this I think we'll win by the odd goal tonight, and it'll be hopefully the turnaround we need. With 2.75 to win at home, which to me is value, and that's why I've gone for it. But yeah, I am wary, heart and head decision.
I mean, if I had to pick anything personally as a neutral, I would go for Brentford draw no bet at just under evens. I think it's like 1.85 or something like that. It's like your bet the other day, Dan, when you were looking at Leeds versus Sheffield United. A lot of people were going for the Leeds win, and you looked at the recent form and you switched to the Sheffield United side, and that's what I'm doing tonight. You know, I think looking at the form of both sides, Brentford have won 3, drawn 3 of their last 6. So for me, I'm sided with Brentford here. And yeah, that's where my money's going. They got a good away win against Preston at the weekend as well. So, you know, they're no mugs. And I don't know, Birmingham are just very, very hit and miss at the moment. And, you know, you've got a good manager in place now. Don't get me wrong. And you should be onwards and upwards very, very soon. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Brentford.
Yeah, I think I'd argue the point that we've got a good manager in place. I think we've got someone who he'll make us harder to beat, which we didn't have before, and we're a bit more defensively organised. But we can't score goals. We're the lowest scorers in the top 3 in the Championship, League 1, League 2.
Wow.
But we're also we've kept more clean sheets at home than anyone else in the Championship. So maybe the bet to go for, the proper bet to go for, would be goals going under 2.5. Maybe that would be more of a banker to go for.
I don't know. Brentford have scored a lot of goals. I think they've scored I don't know how many they've scored, but they've scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, I've seen a pro tips that most people have gone for. In fact, the biggest bet, there will be more than 2.5 goals in the game, posted by 22 tipsters out of the 85 tips.
Oh, wow.
But I'm going to tell you now, I think you're wrong. And I think it's going to be under 2.5.
Interesting.
There's my inside knowledge.
You think Birmingham might edge it, and it's under 2.5, so you're probably going to go for a 1-0 win.
Yeah, 1-0 win, yeah. Against the mob from across the expressway. We had a couple of risky moments, but we were pretty solid against them. And the trouble is we don't look like scoring ourselves. We've got a decent back line, and you know, Koshal has got them organised. But yeah, it's just well drawn up. I'm just looking at the odds. You get 1.95 and under 2.5. That's really value. And that's not my head, not my heart talking. That's That's my take.
Good stuff. Well, we'll know. Well, hopefully everything will go right for you, Daniel, and we'll start seeing Birmingham improve and start jumping up the table. There's one more match then: Preston North End and Aston Villa.
You said it. You said those two horrible words that Dan doesn't want to hear.
That's all right. Paddy can say them. I just won't use them myself.
No, that's a tough one. 8th versus 10th, I think it is. They're both doing pretty well. I think Villa have only lost about 3 games all season, so they're creeping up the table slowly but surely. But Preston are no pushovers, so I think it could well be a draw here. I think I think Preston's captain Paul Huntington, he's suspended this evening, isn't he? So that'd be a bit of a loss for them. And I think Villa's striker, I can't remember his name, Kodja or something like that. He's carrying a knock, so I'm not sure he'll play. So yeah, I'll go down the middle here on this one and go for the draw.
Okay, Preston win. Yeah, I'm always going to say that. That mark from across the expressway. Kodja, he can't score. He's not scored many recently anyway, and he's got an ankle mark he picked up against us. I think they'll bring in Keenan Davis, and they'll bring in probably Yednak as well. I don't know. I weren't impressed by them. Preston, I don't know. I mean, they're very strong defence. They've got 5 defenders out. I think Huntington suspended. Ben Davis has had an induction. Thomas Tom Clark, Greg Cunningham. So, they're a bit short at the back, but I like their forward line. We tried to sign their striker, Hugo. They went to 10 million for it. I don't think it's worth 10 million. He's a good player.
Yeah, they got Sean Maguire as well. He's ex-West Ham youth.
Yeah.
Well, not youth. I think he signed for us, but never got a game like a few years ago.
The thing is, like, as we saw at the weekends, like when we had pacing them, John Terry's got the 270 yard brawl at the moment, because of his age. I think if you get at them with pace and get in behind, you've got every chance. And I think Preston, Hugo is more of an aerial man. It'll be interesting to see the battle him against Terry. But yeah, Preston would obviously.
Yeah, Paddy, what do you make? Have you seen much of Sean Maguire being a fellow Irishman?
I've seen bits and pieces of him. Yeah, he was brilliant in the league, and everyone's really happy that he got his move over to England because I think what's kind of been happening a lot over the last few years, especially with Irish players, is that they're getting trials in England with teams, but a lot of them they're not settling because I think it's just the English teams always used to look to Ireland to get cheap players and all that. Thing. But now because everyone has a bit more money, they can kind of scout further away. And the thing with Irish players, I think, is that a lot of them, they don't have a big physique, which is kind of in vogue at the minute in football. So players like Sean Maguire.
You're going to
go
on us.
Yeah, exactly. But no, he's really good, and I'm delighted for him to get his place there. And you know what? He's in great form. I think Martin O'Neill should start him against Denmark because Shane Long's form, I don't know where it is. He hasn't played well since he scored that goal against Germany.
Yeah.
No, it's awful. He's so bad lately, and I don't understand why people don't criticize Shane Long more because anytime his name is brought up in the media, it's like, oh, he works hard. He's great at what he does. It's like, no. He doesn't score goals. That's what he's supposed to do. That's his raison d'etre. That's what he must do as a striker, and he's not doing it. So I would bring in Maguire for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, and working hard's not going to get you to the World Cup, is it?
No, exactly. No way. Right, gentlemen, I have a betting question. This one's a pretty simple one. So could you give us some of your favourite places that you like to go to for stats?
So you actually went out there internet-wise, so I didn't actually hear the question.
So yeah. So what websites do you use when you're looking for stats?
I kind of I just float around on sites that use Opta really. Opta are good for historical data. Opta are great for historical data, basically. Probably one of the big boys. And yeah, I'll just kind of look at. I don't know, sites wise. I don't have any dedicated sites that I really go to. Soccerway's all right. I don't think it's a managed site anymore, Soccerway, but it's all right for checking sort of league form and stuff like that. But I don't really have any dedicated sites that I go to. I just use a bit of Google as to what I want to look at, and then go to whatever site's talking about it. Really.
Yeah,
fair enough. Daniel, do you have any?
I'm the same as Martin, really. I don't really have anyone dedicated. I use Soccerway because it's handy for like very quick, like to look for home form, away form, that sort of stuff. But if I want anything really detailed, like if I want to see how a team's done historically against a certain team, Google's a friend, you know. There's all kinds of types of head-to-head sort of thing. I also look at what fans say a lot. So if I'm really not sure about it, I tend to look at fans' message boards.
Yeah, that's a good thing, actually.
Because fans see the games, but they go to all the games. And yeah, okay, there's some wild opinions. If you've got the consensus, people are normally quite sensible. And you grasp what's going on. And you might see why a team's in poor form from reading what fans are saying. It might be because there's something specific going on.
Yeah,
so,
true.
I do that a lot.
I mean, as well, Twitter's a good thing to use. There's loads of people posting loads of different stats and stuff. So if you want to know anything, just give a little search on Twitter, and some decent stuff can pop up randomly.
All right, fair enough. Thanks for that. Right, we'll leave it there. So we'll be back again on Friday with another live stream podcast. These podcasts will be available on iTunes probably by the start of next week. All going well. So, gentlemen, thank you very much, and enjoy the football tonight. Make sure to check out protipster.com for more fantastic tips as well, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll get daily videos and live stream podcasts. All right, cheerio then.